Hey friends, welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here today. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing what we eat in a week. I have never done a video like this on my channel and I'm excited. I've shared lots of what I eat in a day videos, but in this video, I'm just gonna turn the camera on every night this week that we make dinner and I'm gonna share what I'm cooking. And I will leave all the recipes down in the description below, but I hope that this video gives you some meal ideas as maybe you're meal planning for yourself or your family this week. And yeah, I'm excited. Tonight is Monday, so it's the first night of the week that we're filming, and I'm gonna be making some barbecue chicken bowls that are so good, you guys, delicious. My whole family loves them. So without further ado, let's get cooking. So in today's video, I'm sharing my week of meals and really sharing how I'm fueling myself and nourishing my family well. But before we go on any farther, I wanted to take a moment and thank Grooms for sponsoring today's video. These snack pack single servings of Grooms gummy bears contain your vitamins, minerals, greens, probiotics, and more. And I can tell you from experience, I've been taking these the last couple of months. They're newer to me, but I love them so much. They are just so convenient. I can put them in my purse on the go. I keep some in my car in case I forget to take them. I can just kind of eat them like a snack throughout the day here at the house. It's just so unbelievably easy. And you might be thinking to yourself, 8 gummies, that sounds like a lot, but it's really not. It's more like a little snack you can have in the morning or afternoon, like a sweet treat. They're delicious. But the reality is they can't pack all those nutrients into 1 or 2 gummies. Multivitamin gummies are typically 7 to 9 vitamins, and with Grooms, in a serving of 8 gummies, there are over 20 plus vitamins and essential minerals. Are 0 artificial colors or flavors, but they're still really tasty. They're so cute too. They're like these little gummy bears. These two are stuck together, but you can see. And they taste just like a fruit snack. Something that made a lot of sense to me when I was doing research into Grooms is that when you use powders or liquid green drinks, you are increasing volume of fluid, and that just kind of means you're paying for expensive pee, kind of just flushing it out. But with Grooms, these are bioavailable gummies, which means your body can absorb the nutrients and you're not just flushing it out. Grooms contains biotin and niacinamides, which means that it's really good for your hair and your skin and your nails and joints. It has 6 times the leading gut health ingredients compared to leading green powders and supplements. It contains mushrooms, which is really good for brain and cognitive function, and then it's loaded with vitamin C, so it's great. It has that immune support as well. Make sure you check out the link down in my description below for 45% off, and thanks again, Grooms, for sponsoring today's video. So this is one of my favorite things to make on a Monday or a Tuesday. A lot of times I will double the recipe or even triple the recipe, and that way I have lunches for myself all week as well. So I try to be smart and kind of meal plan and meal prep and just make my life easier. But here you can see all the ingredients I'm using. Like I mentioned, this will all be down in the description below as well if you miss anything, but we're using some simple seasonings here, and this is a recipe that I do all the time, almost weekly. You start out by peeling about 4 sweet potatoes. I'm cracking up at Graham dancing with the TV there. He was listening to some music, but I'm dicing up all of the sweet potatoes in about 1/2-inch cubes, and I'm going to toss it in some olive oil, some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika, and I'm gonna put the sweet potatoes on a sheet pan and get those going in the oven, about a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes before we add the chicken and the broccoli. I love a good sheet pan dinner. I think that it's so efficient. I love that while dinner is in the oven, I can be cleaning up or getting some laundry done or getting a jump start on my nighttime routine. It's just so easy. But I added broccoli, tossed in some olive oil and salt and pepper, and my chicken breast to a second sheet pan. I seasoned my chicken, topped it with some barbecue sauce, and that's gonna go into our 400-degree oven as well for an additional 20 minutes. So 20 minutes just potatoes, and then another 20 minutes with everything, so 40 minutes total. But this was everything I'm gonna add to my bowl tonight: black beans, cheese, red onions, cilantro, and pickled jalapenos. You can totally customize this to your preferences. And now that dinner is out of the oven and looking beautiful, I'm going to shred up the chicken. I just find this easier to eat in our bowl and easier for the kids too. So I'm just using 2 forks, and then we're gonna assemble a bowl. I'm gonna start with my base of sweet potatoes, then top it with a bunch of chicken, kind of put the broccoli on the side, but you could totally just throw it on top too. That would be fine. And then we're gonna add all of those yummy toppings. I've got some black beans for some additional fiber, a little bit of cheese that melts with that hot chicken, the red onion, and then of course you have to drizzle on some extra barbecue sauce. And this is what my dinner looks like. And then I figured I'd also show you what my kids' plate looks like. It's a little bit simpler. They tend to like all the ingredients but separate, and then they like to dip it in the barbecue sauce, which is totally fine. They're still getting all of those yummy foods. And just like that, it's Tuesday evening, and I'm making one of my favorite meals. This is salmon with mango salsa and coconut lime rice. It is so fresh, it's so delicious, it's protein packed, and it comes together really fast. I have a rice cooker. I definitely recommend just this cheap Amazon rice cooker. I've had it forever, but I'm doing 1.5 cups of white rice and 3 cups of coconut water. That's what I'm cooking it in. And you could also use coconut milk if you would like. And then I have 4 salmon fillets in this baking dish. And I just added salt, pepper, minced garlic, a little bit of Greek seasoning, and then lime juice and lime zest. And my salmon is gonna go into a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes. So this dinner comes together so fast, usually about 20 minutes by the time the rice is done cooking. These are all my beautiful salsa ingredients. It's as simple as chopping all of them up, tossing them in a bowl with a little bit of coconut water and cilantro and lime juice. Caleb is gonna whip up this sweet kale chopped salad kit while I finish up making the salsa. And really, dinner is as simple as that. This is a staple in our house. We make it weekly, especially in the spring and summertime, but even in the winter we make it as well. You can see it all came together beautifully, and it is so good, guys. You have to try this one. Happy Wednesday, friends. We are halfway through the week already, and it's not quite dinner time yet, but it is about time that I'm gonna start prepping dinner tonight because I am doubling the recipe. I'm making a big batch of chicken spaghetti, and I'm actually taking half the portion or 1 whole portion over to a sweet friend's house for their dinner tonight. So doubling the recipe, bringing them dinner, and then we'll have it as well. Chicken spaghetti is one of my favorites. The kids love it. It's one of their all-time favorite meals as well. Is it the healthiest? No, but I'm going to show you a couple things I do to tweak it. And then I'm just going to share what my plate looks like when I serve myself a portion, because you can eat your favorite things and still be on a health journey. You just have to learn how to portion your plate well and add volume to your plate with either extra veggies or a salad or something like that. So all that to say, I'm going to share how I make my chicken spaghetti. So let me just show you a couple little swaps I'm doing. I'm using rotisserie chicken. Any
chicken will do. You just need 2 cups of cooked chicken. You need some white cheddar of choice. I'm using this raw milk cheddar. I can find this at my local grocery, but any white cheddar will do, or regular cheddar for that matter. Some cream cheese. I'm using some heavy whipping cream. You could use just milk or half and half if you wanted to keep it lighter, but since I'm making it for another family, I want to make it sure it's nice and rich and delicious. Some butter, and then for your spaghetti, I'm swapping regular spaghetti for this protein plus spaghetti, just to, again, make sure we're getting lots of protein on our plate. And in addition to that, instead of regular broth for the sauce, I'm gonna use bone broth, and that's gonna give us even more protein. So this will actually be like a high protein pasta dish. As far as veggies go, you can use whatever you like. I like to use bell pepper. Red and yellow is my favorite, but I just have red tonight. Some mushrooms, some onion.
I filmed this video the week of Valentine's Day, and I had baked some cookies that are sitting out on the counter. I had an instructor in a cooking class tell me once to make your pasta water like seawater, and I will just never forget that. It's so funny, I was watching myself salt that water and I'm like, that's a lot, but that's what you're supposed to do. It's the only time you can season your pasta, fun fact. But I'm getting started on the pasta and the sauce. I just sauteed all those veggies up in butter and garlic. Oh, the best smell in the entire world. And then of course adding in the heavy cream and the bone broth and letting that simmer a bit and thicken. And then once I let that simmer, I also added the block of cream cheese and the freshly shredded white cheddar. And oh man, what is not to love about this dish? It is so rich and so creamy and delicious. And it comes together pretty quickly as well. I, used my cheat code today and used rotisserie chicken. You could absolutely bake your own whole chicken or just bake up some chicken breast. It really doesn't matter. I was just keeping it easy and simple today.
Okay, we're not gonna eat for a couple hours. I just wanted to share really quick. This is gonna be our family's portion of the chicken spaghetti. We kept about 25% of it and I sent off about 75% since I doubled the recipe with the other family, just so they have plenty. Ended up making a dinner salad with some cucumber, carrot, tomato, and feta. We have ranch in Italian in the fridge we'll use. And then I just used some of the leftover fruit that I didn't send for the other family for us. So this will be our dinner. And then if you need some more ideas on how to make this meal go farther or just make it a little bit fancier, this is their portion. I did want to mention I'm going to cover both of these when you're ready to eat. You'll cover it, you'll bake it in the oven for about 25 minutes at 350, and it comes out all bubbly and ooey gooey. It's delicious. But I made them a salad as well. I just kept it a little simpler. I didn't add the feta. I didn't know if they would like that. And then I cut up a bunch of fruit for them. I've got cantaloupe and pineapple and honeydew and berries and grapes. And I know whenever I send a meal for a family, they have 6 kids. And whenever I send a meal, I always try to send a bunch of fruit because I know that's usually a winner. But to kind of round out their meal, I'm sending them a loaf of bread, and then I did bake some of these Valentine's cookies. So I gotta package all this up, get it in the fridge, get it covered, and we'll eat later, and I'll send it over to them later as well.
A few hours later, we had a cozy fire going and the candles lit and made dinner a little bit more special tonight. And I figured I'd just show you what my plate looked like. You can see I'm still enjoying my favorite foods. I'm just making sure to incorporate some volume with some greens and some broccoli. I ended up steaming up some broccoli for all of us as well that evening, and it was so delicious. Okay, now it's Thursday, and tonight's dinner is beef and broccoli. More broccoli, guys. I'm cracking up, but this is something that is almost like a pantry meal because I pretty much always have ground beef in the freezer, and I pretty much always have broccoli in the freezer, so you can really customize this. But I also have some green onion, I have some more of the mushrooms from our chicken spaghetti, and then I'm gonna make this delicious kind of Asian inspired sauce. You can customize this just like anything else. I'll leave the recipe down below, but it has soy sauce and rice vinegar and sesame oil and honey and tomato paste. It's delicious. But Thursday nights we host a Bible study at our house, and so I'm always trying to get dinner on the table fast. We keep it simple, keep it quick. I'm breaking out my rice cooker yet again, and I'm cooking my rice in bone broth tonight just to add some protein. This is a great hack. It also gives the rice amazing flavor. So I always do 2-to-1 ratio of liquid to rice. And then in my saute pan here, I'm just adding some sesame oil, and we've got our veggies. We've got the mushroom, the broccoli, and some green onion, and I'm just going to kind of saute that up until it's nice and soft, probably about 5 minutes or so. Came together really fast, and then I'm going to remove it from heat and set it on a plate, and we will go ahead and cook up our ground beef. And now we're just going to cook up the ground beef. I cooked 2 pounds because I wanted to have leftovers. This is another great meal. That's a great meal prep meal, or makes great leftovers. The sauce is really simple. It's just a little bit of soy sauce, some rice vinegar, some sesame oil, some tomato paste. This adds a ton of depth to the sauce, some honey, and then I added some PB Fit powder. You could just add regular peanut butter if you don't have PB Fit. Oh, it's so good. A little bit of minced garlic, and then just to thin out the sauce a little bit, I just added some more of my broth, and that worked great. You could also just use water if you needed to, but once my beef was completely cooked through, I removed it from heat, I rinsed it, drained it, then I'm adding it back to the pan with all my veggies, and then we're gonna add the sauce and let it simmer for just a minute or two, not very long at all. Just kind of let it marinate and marry together. I did end up adding watered chestnuts. We love them. They're just so crunchy and delicious. You could add whatever veggies you wanted to this kind of stir fry situation, but we kept it simple. And then when I'm assembling the bowl, I just do a nice portion of rice, and then I put the beef and broccoli right over top, and it's warm, it's easy. I pretty much always have these ingredients on hand, so it's great. I did end up topping my beef and broccoli with some more green onion, some sriracha just to add some spice. Gochujang is really nice too, and then some sesame seed. And quick, easy, on the table in like 15 minutes, and we were served a delicious, healthy, high-protein meal. And just like that, we made it to Friday. Yay! It is Friday evening, and I'm going to be whipping up a sort of Mediterranean-inspired dinner. It's a lemony, herby, garlic, chicken, and potato on a sheet pan. It comes together in about 30 minutes or so, so it's a fairly easy meal to make. I kind of wanted to do something light and fresh and quick and simple tonight because we're actually heading out to a basketball game this evening as a family. Gonna go support our local high school, but we'll probably have popcorn and maybe a little candy or treat at the game. So want to keep things light and fresh here, but with all that to say, let's turn the camera around and get cooking. So I had some chicken tenderloins in the freezer that I pulled out for this. Any kind of chicken breast, chicken thighs would work beautifully as well. but I'm adding some shallot and some rosemary to my chicken marinade, as well as some Dijon mustard, and then just a bunch of spices: salt, pepper, garlic powder, paprika. I have some Greek seasoning. I'm just going crazy with the spices. You really can't go overboard here. It is so delicious. Definitely adding some lemon, all the good stuff. And then I had preheated my oven to 425 degrees, and I have these tri-colored potatoes. They just come in a pack like this at my grocery store. I love the purple potatoes, but I just coated them in olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, some of that Greek seasoning, and then some sesame seeds. And I'm gonna bake those in the oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, this next step is a little bit extra, but oh man, is it worth it. We're gonna make a Greek yogurt and feta dip. This adds some protein to our plate too. So I use about a quarter cup of Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, and a big hunk about that size of feta. I added some minced garlic, a bunch of lemon juice, and then lots of spices: salt, pepper, more of that Greek seasoning. And I just blended this up in my blender, and this is so delicious on the chicken and the potatoes. Oh, it is so good. So I have my chicken ready. I've also got some cut asparagus and cherry tomatoes. And on a second sheet pan, I'm just getting all my chicken tenders on and ready to go in the oven. And then once my potatoes had cooked for 20 minutes, I pulled those out, and I'm adding my asparagus and cherry tomatoes to that sheet pan. I added the asparagus to the sheet pan with the potatoes, tossed it in some olive oil and salt and pepper, and then both sheet pans are going back into the 425 degree oven for an additional 20 minutes. And this is how it comes out when it's done. It is beautiful, it's colorful, and that Greek yogurt and feta dip really is the cherry on top of this dinner Sunday. It is to die for. You have to try it and let me know if you like it. It is so tasty. All right, friends, well, that was our Monday through Friday week of meals. I hope that you enjoyed this one and it gave you just a glimpse of what a typical week looks like for us and what we eat for dinner as a family. You know, are we perfect? Absolutely not. Do we try to eat mostly whole food based, relatively healthy foods? Yes. It's all about balance, 80-20, and just finding those meals that your kids like or that you like and eating them on repeat is really what it's all about. So let me know down in the comments below if you liked this style video. Maybe you want to see a week of lunches for me, or something of that sort, or maybe a specific kind of food eating recipe related video. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'd love to hear from you. And again, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad that you're here. Consider subscribing if you're new, and I'll see you really soon in the next one. Bye, friends.